transfer story, which definitely came out on the African scene. His name is Hakim Ziyech. Well, this man has left the European scene and also going back home to play. That's on the African scene with Wydad Casablanca. You tell that homecoming. But was this a first move for Hakim Ziyech, who definitely had spells with Chelsea, Ajax, and also with the Turkish club? That's Fenerbahce, if I'm correct. He had a spell with Fenerbahce. Galatasaray. So that's for Hakim Ziyech. But we talk about the other developments on the African scene. The CAF Awards. Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Goalkeeper of the Year. The awardees are definitely out. I will take a look at that short list. Nigerians. So do we have a nod in winning this award? Remember, the last African Player of the Year in the men's category came from Nigeria. His name is Ademola Lookman. The women's Player of the Year, that went to Brabra Banda. The Goalkeeper of the Year, Chiamaka Nnadozie. The Coach of the Year, female. Well, I think that came to Nigeria. But how do we go about this year CAF Award? Well, at the expense of winning the Women's African Cup of Nations, can he win the title? For Chiamaka Nnadozie also with her E-rates at the Women's African Cup of Nations, can she win the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year? But outside the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year, I want to see her close to the podium being named the Women's Player of the Year as well. So we talk about the men's games also, where of course it was all about the stiff competition from the likes of Mohamed Salah and that's his name is Achraf Hakimi. But you ask me, Achraf Hakimi has done everything deserving to win the African Player of the Year at the expense of Mohamed Salah. Then I don't know if Peter and Dolakbo have that's a different thoughts or opinion about what I said. But also on the show, we discussed about the UEFA Champions League yesterday. 9 games, 43 goals, 6 penalties, 5 were scored, 6 red cards. Well, what a night of football. Aram football, it wasn't Aramin, but then you tell that it was a big victory for Arsenal Football Club. And a lot of people have been saying, for Arsenal, this is their season to win so many titles. Lots of expectation on the Gunners, Mikel Arteta, Set Piece Football Club. But on the other hand, we talk about the running riots in which teams had yesterday, the likes of Paris Saint-Germain. But the shocking one came there in Netherlands when PSV Eindhoven defeated Napoli 6-2. Everything happened right after that red card. And the question now is, Antonio Conte, what is his pedigree on the European scene when it talks about playing for UEFA club competitions? I know he can win the domestic league for you, but what about the UEFA Europa League, the UEFA Champions League? I remember his Inter Milan team in the year 2019. They were this close to winning the UEFA Europa League. What happened? Sevilla defeated them in the finals. So once again, welcome on board to the program Scoreboard Reloaded, right on 32 FM 94.9. You are listening to the voice of Oluwatimilei Samisogide. Like I said, I have Peter and Dolakpo with me together. We'll take a look at all the latest developments making the rounds in the world of sports. But first, let me give them their flowers. Dolakpo said Arsenal would get a victory yesterday. For Peter, he dissected Arsenal's gameplay, saying, keep the ball, exploit the spaces, and then Arsenal would get a victory. And that they did. Off with the set piece. And then Victor Gyökeres, he also mentioned Victor Gyökeres, the chance for him to score in the UEFA Champions League for Arsenal. Not only did he score, he scored twice, and he brought out the mask. Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Dolakpo.
Thank you, Samis. Pleasure to be here. I guess the Conte era was 1920 during COVID, where they have to move the games to one venue. So that year, Sevilla won against Inter Milan in the final. Sevilla beat Manchester United in the semi-final and went on to win. So it was 1920. And just to also add my voice to the number of goals scored last night in the UEFA Champions League, 43 goals were scored across 8 venues.
9.
So 9. It was total football. That's the beauty of the game. last night after the game, I was just trying to do some maths and, of course, listen to the analysts on satellite TV. That was when I confirmed that 43 goals were scored. And so it tells you that football is about the goals. So tonight, how many are we going to see from the too early kickoff? 𝐾𝐈𝐒 going back home. That is what you get when you have a functioning football association. What makes you think that the guys who play for Raja Casablanca, for Wydad, for the other Casablancan club, because it looks like everything happening in Moroccan football is either it's Wydad or it's Raja, that you cannot go to the World Cup. I'm not here with my device, but I've probably shared, give you a quote of what the FA president of the Moroccan FA said to the under-17 boys. He told them, you are the next big boys that hopefully most of you will play. I'm just trying to paraphrase what he said. Most of you will play at the 2030 World Cup when we will co-host with Portugal and Spain. He was addressing the under-17. He said to them, one of the things he said was that champions don't walk on the pitch, champions run. That's how an FA president motivates, not the kind of ones we have here where they don't know how to motivate. They just speak like people who are having some beer in some beer parlor. So it goes to show you what Moroccan FA, what they are planning. So 𝐾𝐈𝐒 going back is not because probably cannot find a club in the Saudis, in the Qatari League, in the UAE, or even in some of the smaller teams in Europe. But he just felt, you know what, football is working, let me go back home. If he plays well for his new club side, what makes you think he won't go to the World Cup? You think because he's coming back home, we saw if I'm going to. It doesn't depend on the coach anyways, but if he plays well and he helps Wydad, he will go to the World Cup. Not only him, Sofiane Amrabat, his elder brother, is playing in the CAF Confed Cup. He was playing against the Ghanaian side, I think, cover the weekend. So it is we look at these things. It's because we didn't develop our football. John Ogu left, and Mami, he could not do anything because he could not get any league. When the day that joined the league, you saw how he came out to mess the league up on social media. So if we don't get these things right, is the template of any national team. We have said it before. Keshi went to Nations Cup and won with 7 home base. Westerhoff cleared the European boys. He came home. Daniel Amokachi, Finidi George, we were all playing here for Sharks, for Ranchers Bees. That was how they move a step to Europe. But it's the other way around what we see now. So for 𝐾𝐈𝐒 going back, I think it's good for him. Just to put that, SAMIES, my thoughts. I know that Dolapo also have it. So Dolapo, it's good to have you.
Good afternoon, Peter, SAMIES, and to everyone who has joined us on the show this afternoon. Well, football is going really, really well for them in Morocco, and I think that is one of those things that you see when your football is going very well, because Achraf Hakimi is not really that old for a player of his pedigree. He has gone from Chelsea, from Ajax to 20 to Chelsea, and he has moved around the world. But for him to go back to Morocco to play for them, and to play for a team there, you look at it and you say, okay, maybe because he has been without a team since July. But then, just like Peter said, he could easily attract teams from Saudi Arabia, easily. Because not that he had a very bad stint at Galatasaray. I think he scored 6 goals in 32 games and created 4 assists, 10 goals contribution. So not that he's on the level he used to be when he was at Ajax, when he joined Chelsea, but still we can see offer something. And for team like Wydad getting this guy into their team, I think if he plays well, they qualify for the CAF Champions League or CAF Competition Cup. He performs very well. I think he would be going to the World Cup. I don't know if it would be about the coach, but I think with the name he has, he might not just be playing as a full-time, as a starter, but I see him as someone who will be part of that team that will be going to the World Cup. And it is good for them. And then for the UEFA Champions League yesterday, goals and red cards as well. I think the only game that didn't see goals, and that was the game with Pafos and 𝐾𝐈𝐒, where David Luiz still wins the man of the match in the UEFA Champions League in 2025. That was something interesting to see. David Luiz winning the man of the match. So very, very good games to watch. The Paris Saint-Germain and Bayer Leverkusen game. At a point in time, the game was 1-1. Bayer Leverkusen got the penalty, missed first, and scored another one. But then the red cards came in and PSG kept on scoring goals. Dembele came back from injury, scored goals as well. It was interesting to see, and I would hope to see goals tonight as well.
Hoping to see goals, and then you touched about the red cards. Before we actually talk about the game proper now, the game between Barcelona and Olympiacos, there was a red card in that game. The second yellow, was it deserving. Now, you also go to the game between Bayer Leverkusen and Paris Saint-Germain. Iliman Zabayi, his red card also, was it deserving?
Anyway, you took it from two angles. You felt that was Bayer Leverkusen and also culpable. But no matter how small it is, once you impede the man who is through on goal, is a red card. Yes, pictures and images were showing the Leverkusen striker also pulling the Ukrainian, but it was about the first contact. And the Spanish referee don't have a cause to check. He just felt this stands. VAR also said it should stand because there was a slight what do you call it now? Touch or that slight pull from the former Bournemouth man was enough. For the other one given to what's the captain? The captain of Bayer Leverkusen now, the German.
Grimaldo.
Not Grimaldo, the German. Andrich. It was just because the referee felt there was nothing until VAR called him, and that was reckless. It's just like what some people felt wasn't the red card in the game between Getafe and Real. It's about the intention. If you watch the game and you probably take your time out to patiently look at the video, how the Cameroonian who came on in less than 30 seconds, that was not football. The guy was running and then you just threw your hand, deliberately threw your hand at him. That is not. Football has gone beyond all of this. So for those ones, I think they were deserving. And you can't play. You are playing a full squad, and then you expect PSG not to beat you. Then you are now playing 10 against 10 when you have spaces. They were running into those spaces, and for PSG, it's a 3-9 for them. They've won 3 games. They've got 9 points. Same with Arsenal and Inter Milan, who we saw what they did last season in the UEFA Champions League stage. Kind of the same route again. They're going this time. So it was pretty good. Like you said, shocking news was in Eindhoven, in Netherlands, where the Dutch side beat Napoli by 6-2. I stopped watching when it became 4-1.
And they scored first.
Yeah, and you thought Napoli would run riot last night, but they could not. So it's a question around Conte's dismal performances with club side when he's playing on the continent. If it's 38th match day, you give it to Conte. It might force you and push you. But for this Napoli side, won the Scudetto, brought in quality. If you say Kevin De Bruyne is quality, then probably you need to drink some cold water. And then you see the other average because they brought on board just to help the squad. Too bad for them that Rasmus is not playing. And then the Luka they bought from Udinese got sent off in the game last night, a game that you expect him to probably come and shine and then to hold on that position before the return of the day. So all in all, it was good. And then one man we have not mentioned is Erling Haaland. So we're going to stop him. When's the last time he stopped scoring?
12 consecutive games now.
Scored national team, scored club football. Maybe it's just the man that might push City all the way in any of the competition that involve him. Just any of it, the league or the Champions League.
All right. Anyhow, and that's for Peter talking about those games. But for Newcastle, they defeated Benfica 3-0. And for a certain man, Jose Mourinho, who actually got the job after Bruno Lage was sacked, losing the first game 3-2 to Karabakh. And yesterday, it's one of the best of performance also from Benfica. They lost at St. James's Park 3-2-0. But let's take a listen to the words of Jose Mourinho also, still believing that there is, some miracle for his side to do in the UEFA Champions League. Well, remember, they still have games against the Real Madrid, Juventus, Napoli, Ajax, and Bayer Leverkusen in the UEFA Champions League. Let's take a listen to the words of Jose Mourinho.
This leaves your Champions League campaign now after 3 games.
15 points to play for. We lost Chelsea away, Newcastle away, which in the end wouldn't be dramatic. Dramatic was the loss at home against Karabakh, and the team now with 0 points. But we have 15 points to play for with 3 matches at home. I would say maybe 10 points, 11 points are the points that we need to qualify. So game on.
Where do you think this leaves your champion?
All right, you had Mourinho. Game on. 5 games against Real Madrid, Juventus, Napoli, Ajax, and Bayer Leverkusen. And also to say in the UEFA Champions League this season, they are the only one yet to register a point. Dolapo.
Well, I think when you look at the games they have in front of them, I think they might still just have a chance because, yes, I think so. Against Ajax Amsterdam, maybe if Jose Mourinho is going to bring that Mourinho thing into that team. Against Napoli as well, under Antonio Conte, I don't know. I'm not very sure of how good they can be. Then Bayer Leverkusen too, they don't look like a reliable team. They are not really consistent as well. So they might have chance against this team. The only big side you want to take here is Real Madrid. Juventus at the moment are not good. They lost their game over the weekend to Como, and before that game, they've drawn 6 different games. So that shows how bad they've been. They've just been trying to play, okay, let's just get a point if we can't win this game. So these teams have not been good. And when you look at the 2 games they have played in the UEFA Champions League, they are both away from home. 2 English sides who currently, you look at these teams that they played against, and you look at them and call them teams that will be very hard for Benfica to beat. Yes, you might think because there is a big name in Jose in that team, they should be doing something. But just like we were saying before, we came on here, this is probably not Jose team, not a full Jose team. Although, personally, I feel like it does not have the bite again, does not have the Jose Mourinho we used to know again. I think it is just time to just pack the bags and probably get a national team to work with. But with games at home, with 3 games at home, you know Mourinho. And you can do this thing, you can just get points at home, and then it is the league phase. You might not get the top 8 again and get themselves into the playoff round and play the playoff games and qualify to the round of 16. Anything can still happen.
Well, I think for Jose, it might just be too early for us to say leave club football and get a national team. I still think Jose has got an unfinished business.
But he has not gone to sides who actually spend big money.
He's not only spent big money. It's side with pedigree. Fenerbahce in the shadows of Galatasaray, Benfica in the shadows of Porto. When he came back to England, Spurs weren't the far cry. So I think he's got an unfinished business. One more big assignment for Jose, you will see him.
Oh, yeah.
You never can tell. The same old question you put, even though he didn't have this bad run of results to Carlo Ancelotti. When he dropped down to Everton, people felt about it now. But when the job of Real came on board, so I just felt that Jose just did one more big assignment in terms of one big European club. Which club would that be? I can't even put one phantom about any now as we speak. So Benfica is a fact, right? And like I said, like what was always trying to mention, this is not Jose's team. When he joined Fenerbahce, they were not spending as big as Ghana was spending. So you know Jose wants a big squad. He wants players that will play to his style, player that will play to his philosophy. But this Benfica side, it was good to see him go back to Benfica when he joined. But again, 5 more games, and by the time we get to the turn of the new year, he will be having about 2 games. If he wants to sign players to join Benfica, it might be too late then. So just by him saying with 5 games, maybe there's still hope for them to qualify for not maybe play in the round of 16 or the round of 32, how they did last year, and then find their way into the knockout stage proper. So for Jose, I don't think it's done with European football. They still have a lot to do, but maybe not with this Benfica side.
Before the big game set to go down tonight at the Emirates Stadium, 4 goals to 0, Victor Gyökeres, Breeze, Gabriel Magalhaes, and also Gabriel Martinelli. Happy you, Dolapo.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say. But then, like, that game was very interesting to see after what I saw in the first half. Arsenal were not clinical enough in the first half. And maybe would have had a different game if that Julian Alvarez shot had gone into the net. But it didn't go into the back of the net. And second half, Arsenal came in and they were scoring goals for fun. I don't know. I think everybody needs to stop the Aram football defeating now. There is nothing Aram about this team is playing. And I would like to say this now and put it clear. Mikel Arteta has shown this. Yes, he has not won trophies. But just like Mikel Merino said in an interview in his pre-match conference some days ago, that this man is is top 3 best coaches in the world right now. Yes, I'm saying it and I'm saying it with my name. Mikel Arteta is top 3 best coaches in the world right now.
Wait, hold on. You expect Mikel Merino to go and say his coach is the worst coach?
I've
not.
Okay, I've seen coaches
who are players who are not playing for him say this.
Hold on. See, that is subjective to Mikel Merino because for him now.
I'm saying it for myself.
For him now, if he is to pick top 3 in the world now, where will he put his present manager in the national team?
No, he might tell
No.
you that for
Club football. For club
It's-
football, I mean.
for national team.
I'm not talking about national team. I'm talking about club football.
Dolakpo says.
I'm saying, I'm putting this now. He's top 3 coaches in the
No,
world
what
right
Dolakpo-
now.
No, Dolakpo said it is own, so he must respect his opinion.
My opinion. I
Yes.
think he's top 3 coaches in the world right now.
You're
So
still
remove the
thinking.
trophies. Yeah, no, I feel so. I believe
You
so.
are still feeling.
I believe so.
You take Dolakpo's word to that of what Cholos said about the game. He said,
Yeah.
we lost to one of the best side, if not the best side.
You know how to keep the ball and all.
Yes, how they opened them up in 30 minutes to score 4 goals. People that could not score 1 in 45 minutes, scored 4 in
13.
30 minute accumulated time yesterday. So give it to Arteta, but this is just the battle. There's the war coming.
Of course, the war. Those are the games. But we'll still come in subsequent programs to discuss about Arsenal, who have been dubbed the set piece football club. But later tonight in the
What
UEFA
is set
Champions
piece
League.
football club? I don't like this thing. What is set
That was why Gabriel can be petty. Gabriel can be petty. He went straight to the corner
I
flag.
love
He
that
told
celebration.
Declan Rice to wait.
That's what
Wait, I want to do something. Then they pulled up the emblem as
So,
the flag, corner flag.
I'm not here to say what I will not be here because I want to say what Arsenal, what they're doing is not part of football. They scored 4 yesterday. 2 were from set piece. The other 2 were not from set piece.
Well, that was a massive run from Miles Lewis Kelly.
But you took your attention off that. But you were here focusing on the corner kicks and the set pieces.
I am not.
Even 𝐿 Ghana enjoys it. A Liverpool legend enjoys it.
No, and Slot is not enjoying it.
Maybe.
And so is, well, let's talk about the games that set to go down today. Chelsea against Ajax Amsterdam. Eintracht Frankfurt will be up against Liverpool. For Eintracht Frankfurt against Liverpool, Ryan Gravenberch, who happens to be the fulcrum of the side, won't be available for that game. But Real Madrid also will be up against the Juventus. I think the last time we saw them was in the finals.
So was the Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. Club World Cup, yes. Club World Cup. And now we are seeing them again today.
Yeah, we see both former European champions, like the like we mentioned about the old lady, they are really acting old. But this is a UEFA Champions League night, with Real having their mind on the El Clasico on Sunday, and this one also coming later tonight. For Xabi Alonso, he will be saying to the boys, can we get this done in under 60, 75 minutes? Just like we saw Arsenal yesterday, after they hit 4 past Atletico, Arteta went on to pull off 3-4 players and allow the other guys who haven't tasted minutes to have a feel because they have a big game coming up against the London side on Sunday. That's against Crystal Palace. So Xabi also will say we can get this done on time so we can focus on the El Clasico on Sunday. But it's a game that they will want to win, knowing that a few teams have won 3 out of 3. They also want to go that route and get a win. It will be tough, it might be difficult, but it's something that played in front of the home fans they will probably like to do.
On the African scene, Achraf Hakimi and Mohamed Salah, the leading contender on the 10-man shortlist for the 2025 African Footballer of the Year. Well, you talk about the players who definitely are on that shortlist. We have Frank Zambo Anguissa of Napoli, Dennis Bonga of Los Angeles Football Club and Gabon, Serhou Guirassy. We have Achraf Hakimi, Ousmane Lamliou. We also have Fiston Mayele, Iliman Ndiaye, Victor Osimhen, Mohamed Salah, Papa Matar. The defending champion is not there.
We know, but I can give you 6 names that are there for optics because they have no business there.
Yeah.
They got no business there. Papa Matar of Tottenham.
What did he do? Okay,
UEFA
he won the
Europa
Europa League.
No,
But what was it doing with the team?
Was take him off the sports.
They would perform. They finished 17 in the league, so
Victor Osimhen that is there is just like I said, is just.
They won the title.
What title?
Turkish title.
It shouldn't be in the top 3.
We
You
know,
have been honest.
we know that's 10, right?
Yes.
They'll bring it down to 3.
But,
They're going to bring it down to 3.
no, but
Well,
when you look
now-
at it, he would get into the top 3 with this list. Victor Osimhen might just.
I will
get
not be
into
surprised if the Pyramids, what's his name now?
They just want to
I
talk
think
all
it
over the
should-
What's the
weekend.
Pyramid man that's there?
The pyramid, that's Fiston Mayele.
It's in both the home, the
Home-based, like,
yes,
Interclub, yeah.
and of course, so I think it might be in that. If, in all fairness, he scored the goal in the Super Cup against
Yes.
RS Bikana. So in all fairness, and what he did for the side that was formed in 2008, that's Pyramids. So for me, I think it's just clear that you can't take off this one. But we know where this is headed. We know that this is going to go Akavakrimi's way.
But I think the
There's
top
no-
three,
yeah.
the top, no,
He's going to
should
win
be,
it.
It should be going to Akabakimi. But I think the top three,
there's no way for us to
Mo Salah
We'll,
should be in the top three.
we'll still come back to talk about that. But in the women's game also, Rashida Tajibade, Brabra Banda, Pochia Boakie. We also have Tapi Gatlana, Temuwa Chawinga, Ghislaine Chebak,
There's
Mama
no stress
Diop,
this
Richard
service.
Kodunaji.
You see, for
Should not,
me,
should not go this
in all
far.
fairness, Chiamaka Nadozie should be in that top 3, not goalkeeper.
That's what
Player.
I think I said it.
Player.
She should be in contention
Don't
also
put
for
him
the
down in this
player.
goalkeeper thing. Put him play.
I think
It's going on the player.
it will be-
Put him there.
It will be very hard
She
to
has
see that.
done so well in the
She has done
last 3-4
very,
years.
like she has been very
Now,
good
I want to say,
consistently.
you take her away from the Super Falcons, there's a huge gap.
big one, big one.
But this is how far we can go in today's edition of the show. We'll come on subsequent programs to discuss about all of these CAF awards, which is set to go down there in Morocco. I am SAMIES, your sports captain. I'll say do enjoy the rest of the day, and bye for now.